This is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Happy Tuesday, big Tuesday. Tuesday's always a big day here on the Jets at Noon program, isn't it, Jim Toth?
Terrific Tuesday, Tamana Tuesday, Tequila Tuesday, Movie Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.
Two for Tuesday.
An
endless amount of Tuesdays.
Wash Method Tuesday. Which
Boston Pizza Tuesday.
Every day. Boston Pizza, triple pep on a Tuesday. 2 peps, we'll give you the third one for free for triple pep on Tuesday.
Yes.
Well, that's not true. It's the same price.
It's all the same.
Yeah. But it's a great way to spend a Tuesday, I'll tell you what. Tuesday's that forgotten day, but not anymore. Not today. We remember Tuesday as it should be.
Everybody always goes after Monday because it's back
Monday's
to work.
Monday.
And Tuesday's kind of just like the day that Wednesday's hump day. But
Wednesday's
Tuesday,
hump day. Oh, we're halfway there. Thursday's like, Thursday,
ooh,
drink your face off night.
Friday's great.
Friday's the weekend. Saturday's
Free
awesome.
for all Friday.
Sunday's when we pray. No matter how you pray.
It doesn't matter you do it. You pray on Sunday and Sunday.
Maybe
you're praying to the football gods, maybe.
Football gods, hangover go away, whatever you pray for.
Yeah. There's lots of prayers on Sunday. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. A very exciting show lined up. We're going to talk Gavin McKenna, who's off.
Wow.
He left the WHL, projected first overall pick next draft. He's off to Penn State. He's off to the NCAA for Medicine Hat. So we're going to discuss that because this is actually huge news.
This is massive.
This is
news.
massive neuse. And we'll explain to you exactly why this is something that you're going to have to take note of because it's going to change the landscape of hockey. Tyson, Rewucki, and Brayden Ewasko, both producers on the show, they're going to come in and do a sort of a soft launch of a new initiative on the weekends here on Jets. I don't know. It's not a hard launch. It's a soft launch. It's a plush launch.
It's a satin sheet launch. It's not your what's the warm
it's not
ones
like
in the winter.
It's not like hard.
It's not the flannel sheets.
Soft.
This is like the satin silk. There's summertime sheets.
There's no time of the year I want flannel sheets.
And those,
I'd rather be cold in bed than have flannel sheets.
I love flannel sheets.
Oh, then you
Can
sweat.
you sleep without a blanket?
Not comfortably, but I can.
I need a blanket.
Yeah. What about a pillow? Do you need a pillow?
Oh, yeah.
So what's more important, the blanket or the pillow?
Both. Like I can't sleep without either.
Yeah. See,
if I had one or the other, I'd probably roll up the blanket in a way that I could half use it as a pillow and cover myself.
That's right. The pillow can't cover you.
Yeah.
But a blanket you can sort of bunch up. So I take the blanket over the pillow.
But the nephews of the program are going to join us with their satin sheet
launch. Their satin sheet
And
launch.
those two are no better way because those two are sheets to the streets every day.
Yeah, we're also doing a lot of other stuff on
every
Jets
day.
at
We're
Noon.
like, comb your hair before you come in.
We're all over the place, and I don't know. Maybe we haven't really talked about it on air, so I want to mention that too as well. Coming up after 12:30, and of course, new CBA. Full membership of the Players Association as well as the NHL Board of Governors have ratified a 4-year collective bargaining agreement, more than a year before the expiration of the contracts. We'll discuss that. Now, we'll discuss it. So what's the latest on that? Their memorandum of understanding has been signed. We gotta just have to wait and see some more. So we'll discuss that as well. But Jim, Dick texts the show 204-780-6868 and calls it, is it a limp launch?
When you said soft launch,
it's not a hard launch. It's a limp launch.
They're just not the crew that goes out and bangs it.
They're not regulars. They're not on the air.
They're not like us.
They're not like us.
They're not on the air.
They're not on the air.
We don't have anything to do with how the show goes, but we're the ones on the air. Limp launch. We'll call it limp launch. Gentlemen, welcome to the limp launch. How this goes from here. Hey, that's perfect. Because how this goes from here is up to them.
Yeah, you got to play your cards
right.
You
got to perform. How this goes from here after today is up to them.
Wes says, woo, it should be free for all Tuesday. No, got to wait till Friday. That's why Friday is so special, because we only do it once a week. And then we do the reheat on Mondays during the summer.
Well, we'll take your text.
Well, of course, we always take text, 204-780-6868. Dick, I think you're front runner to win the Wash Method car wash, our VIP friends over there at Wash Method. I don't know if anyone's going to top you today, Dick, on that one. But I want to kick off the show. I went to our good friend Artificial Intelligence, Jim, which I'm using more and more. I'm trying to get used to it.
There's some people that fear it.
There's lots of people who fear it.
Well, yeah, lots. And other people embrace it. It depends on how you're using it.
Yeah, I think that as especially this industry or industries are changing, you at least have to know what's going on. You have to be on the ground floor of it, at least have an understanding. I don't think it's necessarily going to. There's some jobs I think it's going to totally replace, but I think other jobs, I think the people that are going to eventually get moved out of it is the people that don't know how to use it. So I'm trying to be proactive, Jim Toth. So I went to our good friend Artificial Intelligence. I went to AI, and I asked it a very important question. I looked at the 3 RFAs for the Winnipeg Jets: Morgan Barron, Gabriel Vilardi, and Dylan Samberg. And I asked, what should the Winnipeg Jets sign them for? What are they worth?
So this is interesting.
This is interesting.
You should tell me what you think they're worth prior to reading these
results. I will. Okay. I'll tell you. So this is what I wrote this down first.
Okay, I'll write down what you say anyway.
So Morgan Barron, I said a 3-year at 2.25.
3-year?
3-year, 2.25.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 covers the taxes.
Yeah. Gabriel Vilardi, I said 7 at 8. I think
8 mil?
That's for 7 years. Yeah, I think so. He's a top winger. I would sign Gabriel Vilardi for 8 mil. I would.
You know what? You bring up a valid point, though, because if you don't do the 7 years, you're probably doing 4 to higher AAV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that wouldn't be 8 at 4 years because he's going to go to free agency.
Well, AI is a very different idea.
Okay. Well, yeah. Sorry.
If you were going to give Nikolai Ehlers 8.5 and the Winnipeg Jets are prepared to do it, then you have to be prepared to give Vilardi 8. That's how I look at it.
That's what he's going to come back and say.
Well,
right?
that's how I feel now.
And they're going to come back and say he's been in the league 10 years and a consistent 60-point player.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said that's negotiation.
What do you got for Samberg?
I said 7 at 6.
7 at 6.
I said 7 at 6.
See, I would. Man, you bring up a valid point because I kind of think Samberg would be the.
You think like a Neil Pionk 7?
But
then there's that same argument, right? Because you just say, he's been in the league for a long time.
Why these are fascinating is because they're about to become. Look, I know some people are going to go, they are stars, like Samberg, but they're about to become what they're going to be making, like real soon. So if it's $7 million per year or $8 million per year, that's what they're about to become, right? They're right on the cusp of it.
You pay them for what they're going to do, not what they've been. That's the whole thing.
And then both have been pretty good, so you got to pay them for what they've been as well.
So what do you think AI said for Morgan Barron?
I think AI for Morgan Barron said 2.
1.8. And on a 2-year deal. 2 years
just
at 1.
Throwing money away.
2 years at 1.8.
Well, see, 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So 2 years at 1.8.
Yeah. Per season.
I mean, and then you factor in what you just said about Vilardi. He's a bottom line guy, right? Now, I think he's more important than just your average bottom line guy. I think he too is about to break out, but not like 40 goals and top line player defense minutes. But I think he's got 30 points in him.
Yeah,
and people are going to laugh at that, but I really thought he came around this year. I thought if you were going to ask me who the most improved player was. And some people just automatically go to Samberg, but I don't. I think Samberg was on the cusp. I had a feeling when Dylan was gone, and the way I saw him play last year, Samberg was going to play exactly the way he did.
Morgan Barron. What I like so much about Morgan Barron is why I would give him 3 years at 2.25. Is every opportunity that the team has given him, he's taken it and ran with it. He has not disappointed. Oh, they give him the center job. He goes in and he excels.
Can he finish though in your mind? Like, can he, if he gets more opportunity?
Not consistently. He's a bottom 6 player, but like, why would you want to put, why would you put Morgan Barron in a position where he's not going to excel?
I know, but if a bottom 6 player, if you can put up, like, does he have 30 points in him is what I'm asking.
Maybe. Oh, maybe he does. Yeah, maybe he does.
He just hired you as his agent, because
he doesn't want everything. Yeah, because I'm giving him a 3-year deal.
He's had 21 points in 70 games here. He's had 18 points in 80 games. He's had 15 points in 74. So he's a perennial 20-point player.
Yeah.
For 70 to 80 games in my mind. So if 82 games, I think he's got 30 points in him.
Yeah, 25, I think, is he can certainly hit that this upcoming
So
year.
I'll give him 2.
Okay, all right.
AI, I'll give you the Manitoba tax help here. Instead of 1.8, I'll give him 2 for 3 years.
All right.
$6 million, Morgan.
What did Vilardi say?
Vilardi, I
For
think,
Vilardi.
comes in at 6 to 6.5.
7.5 over 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5-year deal, 7.5.
Vilardi just told me to get out
That's
of here.
that's what AI says. Gabriel Vilardi.
7.5 for 5 years?
Yes.
You know what? I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll like it, because it's, again, he's probably about a $5 to $6 million player right now, but he's about to be a $7 to $8 million player. So for 5 years, how many years of free agency are we buying here?
Well, he is a UFA. Not next season. He would still be an RFA.
The year
and
after.
then
So
the
in
year
2
after
years.
is a
So
UFA.
you're buying probably 3 years of UFA.
Yeah.
So $7.5 million. I like AI there.
You like AI?
5 years, 7.5, and he'll like it because in 5 years he'll be a UFA.
What is Dylan Samberg's?
And 5 years of top line play. I would love to go into free agency after 5 years of top line play.
What does AI think that Dylan Samberg is worth? We're gonna have to stick around. Don't go anywhere.
This is the big one. This is the big one.
Oh, let's take a break. Let's come back.
So
when we come back
Vilardi,
after
7.5,
sports.
5 years.
Yeah, we'll give you what AI says Dylan Samberg should be paid on his next contract. What he's worth. Call the Boston Pizza Jets and Noon hotline open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza on Friday. Dylan Samberg, we'll find out after this.
If
when we
Morgan
return.
Barron wants to augment his income, I can get him a hair salon deal. No problem. I can talk to the boys at Aura, and I'm sure Morgan Barron could do some contra and get, with that flow, he'll get endorsements.
We'll be right back.
CJOB.
So I'm sure you're all patiently waiting for Dylan Samberg. So I said Dylan Samberg is $6 million over 7 years. I think that's very fair.
How much?
$6 million at 7 years.
Yeah, I like that. That's how it was written down. That's what you had too.
So
right? 7 years, $6 million.
Yeah. So AI says Dylan Samberg is a 4-year contract, 4.8.
4.8.
That's what artificial intelligence says. 4.8 million over 4 years.
He's not even at $5 million.
No.
You know what? If it was at 5.5, I think Samberg would be all over that because again, 4 years you're an unrestricted free agent, and you just made $20 million. The 4.8 is a little low to me. He's at 3-something right now.
Well, you know what? And I think to this team he's worth more, but that's what, like...
Well, and I wonder if AI leans towards points, right?
Yeah.
But trust me, Dylan Samberg, points are going to come, but he is everything ready to be a top defender player in this league.
Gavin McKenna off to Penn State. We'll discuss that as well. We'll be joined by Brayden, Ewasko, Tyson, and Rewucki for their limp launch of their new weekend initiative.
We have a limp launch next.
Welcome back. Jets at Noon, brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. For gourmet pizza and pasta, bring the team to Boston Pizza. While you're at it, download the podcast free now on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you find your favorite podcasts, with exclusive Jets talking content only found there. And take Jets at Noon wherever you go. Continue the conversation whenever you want. Tyson, who's sitting in here now, who's joined us. We discuss if the NHL should have a NBA-style summer league. What do we discuss specifically? Well, you're going to have to listen. Just download the podcast exclusive.
Indeed,
and you'll find it all about that.
Nephews of the program. But first, we got to get to what AI said Nick Ehlers should get on a contract.
Yes, so we got a text message here from Daryl. Daryl says, hey, guys, because we're just running AI through Vilardi and Samberg and Morgan Barron. And if you missed that conversation, beginning half of the show, download the podcast. It's right there. Just go to put Jets at Noon in wherever you listen to your podcasts. But Daryl says, hey, guys, what does AI suggest for Ehlers? Well, I punched it in, too. And the verdict is... heading into the 25-26 season, Nikolai Ehlers' $8.5 million AAV is justified. He is worth $8.5 million, And
For 6 years.
Carolina did not overpay or underpay for Nikolai Ehlers. It is a fair contract, according to artificial intelligence. So there you go.
Yeah.
Who needs producers when you have AI, right, Tyson?
Exactly.
Say what?
Hey, I'm a dying breed, apparently.
Tyson Rewucki, Brayden Ewasko's here as well. Hey, guys, what's going on?
It's going good.
Yeah, doing really good.
Yeah, so we're not calling – I was calling it initially a soft launch because it's not really a hard launch.
It's a limp launch.
It's a limp launch. We've decided this is a limp launch.
What
It's not a
you-
hard launch because it was on last 2 weekends, so it's a limp launch.
What you two do with it from here is up to you.
That's right.
Well, you just gotta, I guess we gotta push it a little bit past limp. I think we just gotta get that next level going.
So, so Brayden, what are you guys doing on the weekends on the Jets at Noon? It's a podcast network, I think now.
That's what you have
I'm
to call it.
declaring it a podcast network.
I love that. Yeah, it's the Jets at Noon podcast network now. And it's going to be fun. We got so much coming down. Me and Tyson have sort of thrown around a bunch of ideas, and throughout the offseason.
Excuse me, Tyson and I.
Oh my goodness.
You don't have to deal with that on the weekend edition of the podcast.
Teaching, nephew.
So the show is
You
called.
don't have to deal with that.
It's called The Weekend Shift.
My grandma taught me that. Whenever I said me and Cam, it's like Cam and I.
So Jim and I, we get the heck out of here. We have our weekends off, not like you two schlubs. And you guys take things over on the weekends with The Weekend Shift.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, Brayden, you go here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's going to be a ton of fun. We've talked about a couple things. If it was free agent frenzy, we talked about just how the Central shaped up after the free agent frenzy. We sort of do a whole bunch of different things. We get people's opinions on the text line. If they have any cool ideas for the weekend show, we'll throw them in there as well. And yeah, it's just like a little taste of Jets at Noon, except on the weekends.
We also did a really a fun exercise where we went back and looked at all the Jets drafts, their past drafts, and looked at their first round pick and who they picked after.
Yes, I like this one
And
a
took a
lot.
look at how the Jets lineup might be looking. Dave, Chevy might know what he's doing. After that exercise, he might know what he's doing.
Yeah, it was an interesting team, actually. Everybody should go back and listen to that one because that's actually a really great episode.
Yeah,
I really like
it's a
that one.
complete. The lineup is just so much different, and you really do wonder, like, where is this team if they were just one pick too late?
Yeah.
There was always, we talked about with Max Domi when he was drafted, and how there was a lot of rumors around him. He goes to pick before the Jets. Jets have to settle for some guy named Josh Morrissey.
Yeah, franchise-defining decision too. I mean, Sean Couturier for Mark Scheifele, right? I mean, they took Scheifele over Couturier,
And that was seen at the time as what on earth are the Jets doing
For
with their
years,
first pick?
like people were reaching out about Couturier over Scheifele.
I was at the time the MTS Center, and I was down there for the first draft party, and the place was packed back in 2011. And I remember they said, we select Mark Scheifele, and the place was just like, what?
Who?
Yeah,
and I was doing a Gold Ice game
Yeah.
that night, live on TV, and that news came through, and the reaction of everybody going, "Why, if you want a center, wouldn't you take Couturier?" And then, of course, Dale Howardchuk coached him, so people are like, "Oh, the nepotism through the organization." And for years, I was berated on social media about Couturier over Scheifele. He can't stay on his skates. He can't skate.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I saw this. I'm just saying the organization. Who would you rather have right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sean, in his prime, Sean Couturier was he won a Selke. Like, he still was a really good player, but I mean, at this point in their careers, it's not even close.
Yeah. Donna texts the show 204-780-68 and says, awesome news on the new show. They will be great. Enjoy them when they fill in.
Thanks,
They don't
Donna.
Brayden and
That's
Tyson.
awesome.
That's
Donna.
awesome.
Yeah, they're going to be great.
Yeah. So, thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks. We're really looking forward to
Appreciate
it. It's a fun opportunity for us, and it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of connect with the Jets at Noon fan base a little bit more.
Yeah, and Brayden, any fans or anybody that's listening and is upset with anything that you guys have said, I've given complete creative control to you guys. I don't want to hear anything. So I have no control over you guys. I've told you. So if you guys get into trouble, don't come to me to bail you out.
Send it our way.
And listen, when you're doing this on the weekends and we're not there, I don't want any parties. I don't want any friends over. I want you to keep the house clean and do your dishes.
There's $40 on the oven right now.
You guys can get a pizza,
For a pizza.
between the two of you.
But Jim, what if we want wings?
Yeah, you
don't
got to throw in
need
the wings.
You need some vegetables.
The studio is a prison.
If there's anything left over, you can go for ice cream. It's a couple blocks away. Thanks,
And
guys.
if you don't like
Thanks.
it, there's your bedroom.
So take a listen for that. It comes. What time do you guys publish on? Just like what 1:30 or something on the weekends?
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30.
Yeah,
just same as the weekday show.
I did botch it on the first week. I think I put it to some other time zone, so it came out earlier. But
I was trying to brush that under the rug,
So,
Brayden. Sorry.
So Jets at noon on the weekends at 1:30.
Yes.
yeah,
That is
Is
what
that because you guys
Wow.
don't get up till 11?
well,
Jim,
you know what,
Jim.
That's actually a really great point. We should probably publish that at noon. Why would we do that at 1:30 on the
I don't
weekend?
want to shock the world here, but we're going to run Jets at noon on the weekends.
We should really.
Why don't you guys just get up a little earlier than 11 o'clock on a weekend?
How am I going to get my 6
Okay.
hours?
Okay,
Make
Brayden.
your beds.
Brayden, publish it at noon. Okay. God,
Okay.
man.
How am I going to get my 6
I
hours?
told them to publish at
You
1:30.
come
Now I
home
sound
earlier.
stupid.
You come home earlier on the weekends.
All right,
and there
thanks.
was no arguments from us. We
Yeah,
were just like, yeah, 1:30 sounds right.
Do it at Jim. Maybe we'll bring Jim in on some of these decisions at some point. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing Jets at noon at 1:30.
204-706. That's so stupid. How does that not enter my
mean,
mind?
am I-
He's so dumb.
This reminds me of my 4-year-old's watching YouTube videos, and there's kids ones that teach you how to do stuff, and he's watching a swim instructor one, and the lady says, "What does a swim instructor teach?" And I'm like, and even he says swimming.
You know, it's funny.
It's in the name.
You know, my dad one time asked me, he's like, "Oh, what time's your show on at?" I'm like, "Dad, it's called Jets at noon."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yeah."
Better my dad. My dad goes, my friend asked you what you're doing now. You're on CNN or something, right? And I'm like, no, not even, no. I'm not on CNN.
You're on CNN.
I'm not on
They're all the
Oprah
same.
either. I know those are the two things you watch, but I'm not on Oprah Winfrey either.
204-780-6868. Shoot us a
Good
text.
to have those guys, though.
Yeah, no.
This is great to have content on the weekend and give all the listeners out there. And they have some really good views. Like the podcast we've been doing is just a blast with those two. And they bring up the different viewpoints and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's nice to have him on for the limp launch.
The limp launch has been launched.
Yes.
And it was pretty limp.
It was limp.
That's as limp of a launch as you can get.
Okay, we got Gavin McKenna is off to Penn State for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Monetary offer was in the neighborhood of $700,000 USD. With the new monetary system in the NCAA, this is going to happen. And a lot of the blue chip players, and a lot of, I think, the second line guys in the dub and in junior hockey in Canada are going to see the NCAA as a much more inviting environment offer to go down there and earn some money. This is the richest college hockey move in history. Of course, this is not an old thing, but this is going to change, Jim, the face of how junior hockey is handled in Winnipeg and across Canada and across North America.
I couldn't agree more, Cam. Like this is
and
a
Europe too. Players come from Europe to play in the CHL.
This is a massive problem, in my opinion, for the CHL. And it's not just because of McKenna, but to me, this is the equivalent of if Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby or Connor Bedard, like what would Connor Bedard have made back when he was playing for Regina?
Yeah.
And he left to the NCAA. This is a massive problem. And the other way I look at it, Cam, is how much money are the Medicine Hat Tigers losing this year?
Yes.
So there was a good chance that in his draft year this upcoming season, they would sell out every home game. There is a greater chance that the WHL would sell out an extra 4,000 to 5,000 tickets when they go to Calgary, Edmonton, some of the bigger arenas. When they go to Lethbridge, they would sell that barn out. When they go to Swift Current, I would presume. It's much watch TV, much like when Connor Bedard came to town and the Winnipeg Ice were here, and it was only 1,800 seats. And I looked 2 weeks prior to them coming, I think it was sold out. This is a massive loss of money for the Western Hockey League and the Medicine Hat Tigers. And I think McKenna would be gone after next year. Like he wouldn't be sent back to junior, but I don't know that. But whoever takes him first overall, like I would presume that he's going to, like Bedard, walk into an NHL deal. And the vice versa of that is good for him. Like I love the Western Hockey League. I spent 3.5 years covering it. And I always said at the time when people said, "Oh, what are your future goals?" And I'm like, well, if I could move up a league or to a bigger center, I would love that. But if all I do is cover the Western Hockey League, I am more than happy with that. And the Western Hockey League is full of people that had opportunities to leave as play-by-play people or whatever, and they choose to stay there because it's I love it. It's great hockey. It's 72 games a year plus playoffs and more, all that. It's great career-wise for a broadcaster. But this hurts them massively to not have him in this league anymore. But the flip side of that is, what 19 or 18-year-old hockey player wouldn't go make $700,000? And I'll equate it to what you just said too, Cam. Lesser-known Western Hockey League players, if a college comes calling, and this is interesting for our listeners, parents who have kids playing hockey. If you're in the dub and you have an 18-year-old, and all of a sudden a college goes, we'll give him $25,000 to come play hockey here. Not $250,000, not $700,000. Are you not letting him go the college route, get an education, and make $20,000 even US?
Yeah.
As opposed to playing in the Western Hockey League. And I hate saying this because I love the dub.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I wanted to talk to you about this.
But I don't know as a parent how you don't go education-wise. Well, your part-time job as a hockey playing student is now $20,000 US.
So
that's like bare bones, right?
How Ian says, how can the CHL even compete with this?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, Ian. That's the question. I
hate to put it this way, but if you're a player who struggles with school, that's how they compete. If you don't do well academically right now as a 16, 17-year-old, that's how you keep players. I don't know any other way you do it. Now, the CHL could come up with some things. Like I was around when Ed Chanel brought in the whole CIS now U Sport thing, right? For every year you played in the dub, you got a year of university paid for, which was a great initiative. And many WHL players are not going to the show. I would presume over half of them are not. Some will play pro hockey. Very few will go to the National Hockey League. And the predominant ones of them go on to, and I know a ton of them that I still keep in touch with, went to the U of A, went to the U of C. University of Manitoba has a ton of ex-WHL players going through their program. But this has to somehow, like, I'm not talking about the ones who make $80,000 or $120,000. I think Michigan offered McKenna $250,000, you said?
Yeah, something around those lines.
So
Penn went out.
And this is the business of college sports in the States. Penn State just opened a $100 million hockey facility. Mm-hmm. So for them to go get Gavin McKenna and pay him $700,000, they're going to make money off this. So McKenna makes money. They make money in their new building and facility. Other teams that have really good programs with really good players that are paying everybody $200,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 can't afford to pay him $700,000. So he chooses Penn State. And Penn State's more than happy because they got a new building to sell out. It's the business of hockey, right? Mm-hmm. But there are a plethora of players in the dub that I would think that even if Bemidji State or St. Cloud State calls you up and goes, I know you're 19 years old in the dub, but would you like to make $20,000 US and come play college hockey? How do you say no to that?
You're a young guy. You live in a college town in the United States. You get paid. You don't ride the bus. Like everybody knows how the bus is in the dub. All right. You're not on the bus. You're taking planes everywhere. You're dealing with the facilities that they have in U.S. colleges. Okay. The training facilities.
Only play on
the
weekends.
Rinks, all that stuff.
You're not doing homework on a bus. You're not getting off the bus at 2 a.m. and going to school the next day. You go to school and then you play on the weekends. You're not
doing the 14-hour drive straight on a bus, get into a hotel room at 3 a.m. I mean,
now look,
it's
here's the other way to look at it.
Yeah.
If you're not a star player, the dub could be for you. If you're an average player looking to get better and make it in pro, then you're going to play more games.
Yeah.
You're going to practice more.
Yeah. Shorter schedule, significantly shorter schedule too in the NCAA.
Yes. Yeah. So you don't have as many games. You don't have as many opportunities to impress people.
That's right.
That's the other way to look at this, right? But if you're a player who hopes to make the NHL, but is predominantly a major junior college player, and that's the end of it, I would take the money and the education.
It's interesting. I'm interested to see how CHL is going to try to make themselves more competitive. We'll see. I think they're going to have to do something, and we'll see what comes down the pipe. We'll be right back. Wrap up the
Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Well, I messed up. I accidentally gave away, sorry for it, Jay, producing the show. I gave away 2 car washes today.
And romance.
Yeah.
You doubled down on the romance.
So congratulations to Daryl for asking what AI suggested for Ehlers. That's a winning text message. And also Dick for suggesting that we rename the soft launch of the Weekend Shift with Tyson and Brayden, which is a new show on the weekends here on the Jets at Noon podcast network, to call it the Limp Launch.
It was limp and it launched.
So congratulations to Dick and congratulations to Daryl.
What happens next is
What'll happen the rest of this week, I don't know.
Pure fire.
But congratulations, you're going to be going to Wash Method. Good friends down there at 690 St. Anne's Road. Mr. Chance, get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Come in for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side, an ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. The number one caller on Friday will be awarded a $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza. The NHL PA, as well as the NHL Board of Governors, have ratified a 4-year collective bargaining agreement more than a year before the expiration of the current contract. The new agreement runs through the 2029-2030 season. The memorandum of understanding will be available on NHL.com and NHLPA at a later date. I wish it came out now because I would love to talk about it.
Yes.
But we have to wait, and then we'll get into sort of the tiny details and all the interesting stuff. But listen, there's no concern here between the NHLPA and the players. So this was easy peasy. The fact that this has been ratified over a year before the expiration explains exactly where everybody's head's at in hockey. Things are good.
I believe escrow is going away, which just speaks to the health of the game, and everybody's making money.
Yeah.
And, we do so much about
franchise evaluations are going through the roof.
We do so much about work stoppages and stuff. It's really great to see a CBA where it's just everybody's happy, everybody's doing well, and the league is healthy. It's really good to see.
Well, yeah, absolutely. 204-780-6868. I had a lot of fun talking about the McKenna and the NCAA CBA. We're going to talk more about that. Let's make it a theme for this week. We're going to get into it and stuff like that.
And let us know at 780-6868 or Jim at cjob.com or Cam at
cjob.com.
And want to know your thoughts. Like if you're a parent out there and you have a 12, 13, 15-year-old, what are you thinking if the dub or the college route and the pay and all that?
Thank you very much, Jeffrey Fortier, for producing the show. That's it for me. Be back same time tomorrow. See ya.